a 59 Chevy Convoy. Yeah. I'm not going to tell the story because it's a long story, but no. We're going to move on. That really affects me, though. I slept on that piece under the windshield, that big, wide windshield.
Yeah.
My aunt, who I thought was rich, but it turned out she was just single. Anyway, next we're going to hear from Sarah Webb, and I'm so glad she could make it here tonight. She's going to be a little quiet while she reads, so listen carefully.
The poem from the book is Facing June. This is a family story. Doc Johnson's boy. The inscription on the stone said, "So many hopes lie buried here." In the photographs they took, the boy in knee pants, Ford, had gone missing. His sisters crowded in a line on the front porch, linked their arms in their white dresses as if they could fill that empty boy space, could be what Ford would have been, as if they could fill their father's heart. So they read and argued, smoked and stitched up wounds, laughed in suitors' faces and dared out to the college. It was just a country town, and people whispered, "They're wearing pants at old Doc Johnson's house." But for all they did, those girls, they could not quite open the door their brother would have walked through. Not one of them became a doctor like their father. And Verna, the eldest now, drank her way through 3 universities before she made professors see the mind inside the flapper. But when the old doctor died, Ford lay with him in a deeper grave, and Verna went home to be a daughter to her mother. She set up her bed in her old room and walked up the hill to teach English at the high school. She lived her life in rose print dresses, and if Ford lived on in her, she never said. And she lived in that town, that's Eastland, Texas. She lived in that town her entire life, was the senior English teacher. And when she retired, the classes that she taught gave her and her sister a trip to Scotland. I mean, she didn't have a name, they just called her teacher. So, this is from an earlier poetry calendar. I think it's 2012. Yeah, it's 2012. Looking for water. This is another family story. They actually, all 3 turned out to be. This is from the other side of the family, my daddy's side of the family. My great-grandfather found water, witched it for neighbors and kin in the land rising from the Red River. Rich dirt in the sections, but sometimes dry, and a man needs water for his corn and his stock. There's not much to witching, he'd tell us. He'd cut a branch, a Y fork from a willow, wring the bark between thumb and penknife, and peel it back from the silver slick wood. Willow, he said, will yearn to water. I think he yearned too, jolting through dusty grass, eyes restless for the glint of creek or water tank. His willow blood surged dark in him, down through roots to the hidden water table. Let wood do the telling, he'd cautioned the sunlight men who'd called him there. And Wood did tell, twisting in the hand as if alive, jerking down fierce to say, here is the one I've been searching to meet. And this one is from 2013. And I know it's blasphemy, but I tore it out of the calendar.
13's over, it's okay.
Afterwards, this is my mother's family. They came in wagons out of Georgia, out of houses shattered by cannon fire. For the first few miles, they looked back. They passed trees and fields with smoke where the Roberts had lived and the Shaws. James talked rattle fast of Sherman and the thump of guns and the lines of horses till silence swallowed him. In Texas, they heard that Cletus was killed and Bryant missing. Andrew came riding in one late spring, asking the way to the new place, his eyes darting off as people pointed out the road. He told them that nobody, not even Sherman, was going to follow. On the new farm, there was a baby, a year old now, and later a band of boys and girls leaping like colts, running out into the flashing rain where mamas dared not follow. Randolph, you get in here this instant. They laughed and whirled with open mouths, not at all afraid of the thump of thunder.